Hey everybody, welcome back. It's a little bit more Super Auto Pets. We're on pay to win now. Let's do pay to win against everybody. I was getting a little frustrated on stream yesterday. Not in like a serious way, but just I feel like the pay to win builds. I could be wrong. This is just based on like an hour of gameplay. I feel like pay to win struggles a little bit in the early mid game versus free to play. Now, it does pretty well at the very start because you got the fish at 2-3, which is in both packs, but then you also have the green ladybug, also known as the beetle, that's a 2-3 that's only in the pay-to-win build. So I feel like the early game might be a little bit better. Like, the first 2 rounds might be a little bit better on pay-to-win, but I feel like once you get into, like, horse, dog, ram, blah, 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 like, that's where free-to-play can do some damage to you early if you're not careful, but I do feel like pay-to-win tends to do better long-term. By the way, if you're wondering about the hat, if you haven't watched the Twitch VODs, which makes sense because these are coming up before the Twitch VODs, I think, this is it's a one-of-one special hat for my account only. Thank you to Teamwood Games. It was they offered and I acquiesced, and I mean it's beautiful. I love it. Golden poop is on the way out. You ever see the eggshell? You know what's up. Give me a cricket. I don't love it, but if it has to be done, it has to be done. I will take 1 mosquito, 1 fish. Freeze a mosquito because pairs are good. I mean, this is a really good one. This is unintended sardines is probably a good one too, because I'm sure they intended for this to say sardines, but I mean, this is probably one of the best names you could possibly ask for. Big ups to the new name DLC. 2-3-1-2. 1-2-3 into the 4. Pupsia Dupsia 69 is on the floor. What happened to your squad? I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know how that could have possibly come to pass. This is an okay squad. Okay. The thing that's worth noting is that 1 extra shot from a mosquito is not worth that much. It's not a huge deal. Now you got to make a decision. So we know we're going to do this. The decision you would make is what's worth more? 2 extra HP or a permanent +1 attack? And the question really is, do we think we can win this round regardless? I think the answer is possibly. As a result of that, let's buy the bird. Normally, I don't love it. We'll have the bird buff the mosquito because the mosquito is most likely to pair up soon. We would love to see the ant hit the mosquito. This is we're going up against a nasty squad. Just being straight up with you. Ant mosquito. Ant fish. Kind of bad. This looks like a loss. This, it doesn't look like a loss. It is a loss. The moist balls. What a name. The good news, if you want to call it that, is that I don't think the beetle would have saved us there. No. I mean, Tabby Cat, look, it's a 4-3, and I think there's something to be said about maybe buying it and then using it to just help you win 1 round, but long term, it's not in our wheelhouse. I think you say goodbye to the bird. 2-1 versus a 2-3 with a faint trigger. We add a swan to the situation. We're looking for even just a pair. I'm kind of dying. Like, it doesn't have to be a triplet, but even just a pair I would consider acceptable. So a 3-5 dromedary exists basically just because, you know, we needed some stats to get through this next round. That was a shop that was cursed. We had okay selections, but none of them were related to the units we already had, which is like the worst possible outcome. We're gonna lose this one, there's like no doubt about it. There's no way we're making it through here. The clean masseuses. I honestly, you have some control over the gameplay, and then you don't have some control over the gameplay. In this situation, we didn't really have that much control over the gameplay, you know? The shop sort of did us dirty. Okay, so you can sell a fish. I think you would love to buy... hold on. I think you would love to pill an ant. Then you buy a swan, because it's a 4-5. Then... combine? We only have 5... We don't combine yet. It's a little weird, okay? But in order to make this kind of work, especially for round 1, we got to do something like this. And this is not bad. Like, we got some pretty impressive stats, but we also, like, desperately need to win. We can't afford, like, one more loss is pretty much catastrophic. And this is a squad that is, we got a little lucky on that one. But they're very spooky. I think we might come out of this one with a win. Look at that. That was a pretty evenly matched team there. So we're 2-2. Start to think about having, like, some potential chances here. The Dromedary is doing some good work at making our units, like, a little bit stronger. I would say, like, a hatching chick you can roll with. Keep in mind, oh, you know what? We probably do want to go mosquito level up. That's a gimme. I don't love a skunk. I think you can freeze it for now, though. The thing is, with the Dromedary, you lose the... I'm freezing these because they're +2/+2. Or maybe the skunk isn't, but the skunk is at least a tier 4. What we want to do is get a pill the flamingo for upside. Admittedly, it's perspective, okay? Then we would take a hatching chick, play the hatching chick. It being a 3/3 is not that big of a deal, but a 14/11, or I guess a 12/12 swan, 14/11 mosquito, 12/12 swan would be really nice with garlic armor. That's a very potent unit. So we're rolling, and we're looking for things we didn't get. We can roll one more time. Okay, we didn't really get what we were looking for. I think you say no to a skunk as much as it bothers me to do so. And we buff... Like, we need to get some wins. I think you can freeze one more garlic, because an early garlic on a swan would help us. Honestly, an early garlic on a dromedary would also slap, and it's the best thing you could ask for in this shop, so I don't really see a need to feel bad about freezing the whole shop. Admittedly, we do want a pill, but we're going to buy both of those garlics, so... Alright, so this is where we're hoping that this is going to come through in the clutch. Garlic is honestly just overpowered. In the early game, at least. We're trying to get to 10 wins, but just to get ourselves out of, you know, where we're at right now, at 3 wins by round 6 would be nice. So we're going to swan up for the time being. Be straight up with you, a round 6 worm seems completely playable. I think we're going to say bye-bye to the flamingo. And as strange as this looks, because it's a 2/2 with garlic, we want it to have garlic. And we know that it gets the 1/1 buff off of it as well. Worm Caterpillar, by the way, can work. I think, to some extent, it's just a question of how much you want to invest in your pivot. As long as we get through the kangaroo, I am not sweating this. We have built a strong mid-game team, basically because garlic is the strongest item you can get early, I think. And we got a good economy here, okay? So anything that gives us, like, permanent stats, like an apple, for example, as minor as it might seem, I think we have a real obligation to invest quite heavily in our worm. Now, for 3 gold... I mean, I guess you would consider maybe meat on a dromedary temporarily. And right off the bat, like, our worm is already at hatching chick levels. Oh, this is nasty, man. This is a loss. This is just a very strong team. I don't know how we're going to do 18 damage to you. We were close. We were actually almost in there. Come on, just give me, like, just one more win. Let's just bet on one more win right now. Get this worm popping. Look, okay, you just gotta, like, that's the way you're gonna play it. A caterpillar actually fits nice. I just don't know if we can actually make it work because we're gonna, like, run out of time. But I think if we're committed to trying to get 10 wins, then we'll want a caterpillar out there for the future, okay? It's gotta be done. We still like the garlic. We're not sweating anything else here. Come on now, come on. Just give me, like, any food with a permanent bonus. I was hoping we would roll into a pair, but that's okay. That takes us to... We got a 17-17 up at the front. And every round is a gift at this point. We're going up against an 11-11 worm. We win these. We win these. We win these. That does enough, okay? So we're going to break even. Or we're going to do better than break even, I should say. 5 wins. On a run that looked like it might not get there for a time. And I gotta be honest, given the choice between an 8-8 swan or a 9-6 mosquito, both with garlic, we're gonna keep that swan for economy purposes. All of a sudden, we got double Malk on our worm. We got a 23-23 garlic armor worm that's gonna do some serious work. You can pill a turtle, or you could just take a turtle. But the turtle, I still think, like, long-term, it's incredible. But in the short term, garlic will outperform melon. Source dude, just trust me. I would love to get our worm leveled up a little faster. But I think the caterpillar leveling up faster is also insanely important. I'll be straight up with you, too. You could sell a cow and roll a deer instead. We want to freeze this. I think for now, you sell a cow, roll a deer up at the front. Hope you don't roll up against a hippo. We got a 25-25 garlic armor worm. We're hoping the chili pepper disrupts whatever our opponents have going on here. This seems totally fine right now. Obviously, the kangaroo's gonna get kind of strong, but... No, no, no. Oh, okay, I didn't do the math right. That's 6 wins. On Twitch, that would be a believer payout now. Give me one of these. Try it. Let's go. Let's go. There will be no pilling. Honestly, it's so important we win this round. You just go one level up. You know what? No. Freeze the worm. Roll once. We don't need to go one level up on the worm right now. We'll just give it a cupcake instead. I guess a scorpion technically might be better than a deer there, but let's freeze you too. Now we got a 32-32 and we'll level up on a more relevant turn. The odd-numbered turns are a little bit more relevant. Okay, well, this is horrible. It could not be worse. This is a loss. Yeah, Hippo's gonna outscale us, and then they got good units behind. Honestly, though, we did, considering how things fell apart in the early game and how bad our early shops were, I'm actually pretty pleased with how we got out of that one, and I owe it all to the worm. I'm pretty stoked. Beaver's fine. Pig, don't at me. Even though pears are valuable, don't at me. This is really bad. The thing is, like, I know this is gonna look like a weird turn. Like, why wouldn't you take the pear? That'll be the boring bits. I've been guilty of those on stream a few times. And I could be wrong. Like this, this may prove it here, because we are going to lose this one for sure. But they had an ant and a fish. We just had a worse shop setup, honestly. The truth of the matter, as I see it at least, is that HP is so much more precious. Well, you could do either, really. I just like a green beetle, man. The truth of the matter is that I think HP is so much more precious than attack. That might invert at some points in the game. Especially, like, if you have garlic on you, for example. But, in general, I'm a big believer in, you know, 1 HP early does a lot more for you than 1 extra attack. So, again, we have no, levels, but we're close. Let's roll once. Honestly, like, I think you gotta roll once. I love a bat. I'm never gonna be mad about that. I wish you hadn't buffed the beaver, but you know what? Temporarily speaking, I think maybe... Look, that's pretty good. We don't really want a 4-6 or a 2-2, but temporarily speaking, this is okay, but I'm very disappointed in our inability to get triplets. All that being said, if we'd invested in the bird, we could have gotten some triplets, but the flip side of that is how are we supposed to know that in advance, you know? I guess you're just supposed to buy everything with the idea that maybe in the future it'll show up again, but, you know, you don't have knowledge of the future rolls. Okay, now we can start to think about our future. I think on round 4 you gotta go Caterpillar. So, controversial maybe, but I think you would sell your bird first. That way your beaver is more likely to hit units you respect. You'll roll a caterpillar at the back. You can definitely play like a front flamingo. And, you know, it gives shop animals +2 health. I think we can buy and... Like, buying this and eating this, it gives you a buff. It gives you a temporary buff. I wouldn't feel bad about rolling a 1/7 peacock. I mean, getting those buffs is kind of hard, man. Anything helps in that department. Remember, by the way, weakness has been nerfed. This is a loss, by the way. So weakness is not as strong as it used to be, but bat is still pog. Mostly in the late game, I think, to override equipment, but... Alright, straight up, I'm like, you gotta go. I think we try... I mean, I'm gonna go crazy here. I'm gonna pill you with the bat involved. This way, when we buy this, there's an insanely good chance it hits you. If it hits you and you, then we rage quit. Okay, that's great stuff. Now we've got a 1/9 peacock. 2 bats. And then we'll freeze this so we get another bat next turn. And roll once. I know we have 1 HP, 0 wins, but like this is actually okay. We're going to lose, by the way. Yeah, for sure. It's already been done. Well, that's winless, man. Dude, that's rough. That's rough. I honestly chalk a lot of that up to a loss of momentum. From not getting, like, good early game pairs. Like, this time will be be an awkward piggy. How does that sound? Like Lord of the Flies. We really, like, at this front... we draw these. Okay. You really need to, like, on turn 3, you need to get one more unit. Like, you need to get to the level 2 unit. Otherwise, it's, you know, you hit diminishing returns real quick. Let's go in a different direction for a second. Normally, I would probably combine mosquitoes... Add another unit, maybe a cricket. Holy bursh. This seems great for us. It's funny, like, I think the horse build... I think it tends to lose. Or maybe it's just double ant. Like, ants are a little spicy to run early. It's a tough one to pill a flamingo on right away. But definitely we don't mind the idea of pilling a flamingo next turn and rolling it for now. We're just probably, like, economically going to run into a tight spot here. This is much better. I would say you combine your mosquitoes. By the way, Swan is great. I just don't know if it's going to be functional here. On turn 3, we want a dog to pop as fast as possible. So summon me a dog. Sell the beaver. And I know that this looks weird. But this allows us to then summon this, which gives us a +0, +1. We could combine, and it'll give +4, +1, +1, +1. And maybe it won't give that next. I don't know. But either way, we'd rather have a 2/3 out there right now that I think about it. We'll just stall for 1 turn. I think we could totally freeze you and you. Having 2 pills here seems very nice. We might compromise this round, but we at least have like a cogent and coherent through line for our future. By which I essentially just mean we are so lucky that the bee is going to kill this peacock. This is a draw, but it's a great draw. We actually have like a plan that we can structure our whole run around, which is incredible. So we obviously start with the combine, which is very nice. Then we want to make sure the dog gets the flamingo buff. 4 gold for 2 +1s. Or for, yes, 2 +1 +1s is not that bad. But we could also do it differently. Like, we have 9 gold right now. It's an awkward amount. I think we can summon you, unfreeze you. We'll be looking to put down a different creature here. Hold on. It's just a little weird. I don't think we want a fish, honestly. I think we'd rather have like a spider. Technically, you want it in front of the dog, which is a little awkward here. We could sell and then buy another animal. But I think a roll to look for the stuff we actually want to see is not so bad. And again, I think 2 pills here is good. I think you can freeze a flamingo, man. I don't think you want a level 2 spider, but a spider can do some amazing work for you. It has to summon the right stuff. Like Vanessa with the singing career. But, lucky us. You know what? On this one, it doesn't actually have to summon the right stuff. This guy's name is actually the Huge Balls, huh? You can just get that? That's a dream. I had no idea. Okay, so we know we want the dog to get iced. Or, sorry, the flamingo to get iced to buff the dog. And then we could do it again. I think now we actually have the gold to make this sensible. We're going to need to do something about this mosquito at some point. This is a semi-aggressive roll. The best thing you could do here is garlic on the dog. And I know it's going to seem a little strange, but I would rather have garlic on the dog than summon a random 2/2 dog, just to be real. So I think you freeze, roll once. Freeze, because this could go wrong, and it's nice to have the capacity. This is the relatively rare, in my opinion, and this could be a loss. This is the relatively rare, sensible opportunity to roll a 4 squad. The thing is, one of the reasons we were rolling a 4 squad is because of the fact that we probably overspent on like those flamingo plays we were doing early. But it's actually going to pan out for us, so just goes to show you. You can't believe everything you read on r/super autopets. IMO is a little late for puppy, but I mean, to be honest with you, maybe it isn't, because maybe a puppy works really well instead of a 4/5 mosquito that we're never going to invest in the level up on. We didn't really even need to sell there, now that I think about it. And there's our mosquito, but we probably wouldn't have gone. I don't know. Maybe we would have. We can freeze this on you. You're a great sellable. It's one of those things where like a turtle does really. I honestly, for now, as good. Well, you know what? Okay, I think this is what you do. You freeze the turtle. You freeze the pill. You roll a beaver at the back, and then you realize that you screwed up with the puppy. You shouldn't have the puppy at 1/1 getting no buffs. You know, so economically, I've already made a mistake. Next turn, though, we will sell the beaver. Get a buff. We will put the turtle in front of the fish and pill it, which will do a good job of creating melon armor on our fish. And melon armor does better for us. We're lucky, man. We're lucky. We draw these. Melon armor does better than a bee, even though the bee has had some very fortuitous moments. I got to level with you. The poodle is the play. So we know the beaver's going. So get out of here. Probably the worst buffs you could have asked for. This is still good. 3, 2, 2, 1. We like this squad. It might be a little slow, and to be honest with you, I think now, for scaling purposes, we actually sell a puppy. Although it gets +2/+2 every turn. Like, I think a buffalo could work. But I don't know. Even though the puppy's a little slow, I think it can get there. We're not going to keep a spider. That's like, it's not long for this world. We can roll one more time. We definitely love a second poodle, though. I don't know. A fish at this point, I'm like, I think that you're overpaying for 1/1. Anyway, this is going okay for now. I'm a little pessimistic about our future, but we'll see. Could be wrong. This looks like another draw. And we had a good squad, so we're starting to run up against it here. We've only got 3 wins. We can't afford to like fall off here. So Puppy's getting buff at level 3 right now. We could roll a sheep, and a sheep is good, but we're really looking for a level 2. No, we're looking for a level 5, really, to replace our spider, which means we got a little time. Hatching chick is a level 3. What's getting buffed at 3? Puppy. Okay, so I'll just level with you. We don't love a spider here. Instead, you get an early, like, well, actually a pretty late hatching chick, but still. 1917 garlic armor dog. Buff, 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 no buff, buff. This is good. This is good. Level 2 poodle next turn is gonna amp up this scaling. I don't think we got a 10 win coming, but I think we definitely have like a potential 7. And I could be wrong. Like, I mean, we scale, or we match up super nicely right here. Some of these units, like, the fish with raw stats is going to be great, but we kind of need more scaling to get it there, but... Like, it needs to level faster. I think you could dump a hatching chick. Even though the +5/+5 is nice, we get a permanent benefit out of the, you know, the buy. And I think we should, at this point, start spreading some of the scaling around. We don't have a level 3 friend. But we should... Honestly, okay, hold on. We want to keep 2 gold. So we can roll once. And then we could, like, sell cow. We could buy food as well. But we could sell cow and buy deer. And I think that gives us a good chance to... keep going here. And just keep in mind that we're keeping some gold floating at the end of every turn because of the fact that this is a nasty team, man. Because of the fact that we get +2/+2 on the puppy for that. So we came out with it again. Look at that. That takes us to 5. You're probably gonna go. We're gonna spread out a little some of these buffs. Honestly, the puppy's going to get there. I think maybe we'll apply this one to the dog. You're probably going to go. We do want, like, a permanent scaler, but right now I like having a flex position. And there's a part of me that's like, you know... I think we're going to stick with this. No. Yeah. Freeze me for a second. There's a part of me that actually really likes... having one open spot, because if we decide later, like, things are falling off, we can switch to... Oh, this is horrible. This is just horrendous, man. Look at this squad. It's the strongest squad that's ever existed. Although, they get pretty weak once we get through this peacock. Okay, puppy. It's all up to you, man. He's not gonna do it, but he was actually kind of close. Like, 2/7/7 monkeys is not that scary. Outside of the very, very early game. So you're probably going to go. Garlic is still really good. I'm really thinking we don't go turtle yet. I'm also thinking, though, we don't go bat, because we are already buffing a level 2. We're buffing our dog. So, you know what? Keep the bat for now. It's like an okay... Okay, sell me. Now we're getting much faster buffs. You have to take a T-Rex. It's literally just a better poodle. But you keep your level 2 poodle, and you roll a T-Rex, and now, like, this squad... This is pretty much the kind of squad where I think we can just hit end turn every time, and then the chips are gonna fall where they may. We did our job, which was, in this case, survive until, you know, round 2. Or, what am I talking about? Survive until T-Rex, I should say. They got another very... I mean, that's a scaling squad with some solid penguin action. You can't be mad. Hit me with one of those. There's something to be said about a scorpion, man, but... Okay, we need some melon armor, but the scaling was pretty nice there. I think we're running into some dirty teams. You gotta embrace that. And we're somewhat late in the game, so this is not unexpected. We're lucky we trade. We do better than trade. We do way better than trade. Okay. Spooky Harambe. What her name? Look, I mean... There's a part of me that's like, why would I pay for the 1/1? We're not going to summon any other units. Like, we're better off maybe... And it's a big fish, but... I think we're better off trying to fish for a, like a level 2 poodle or a level 2 T-Rex. We're hitting peak scaling pretty soon. We need to live long enough to make that happen, and we're rolling into some seriously, like, nightmarish teams, but 3 melon armor. Pretty nasty. We win these, though. Would you look at that? Hey, a noted chatter. Prussia's. The Suave Creators. Hope you enjoyed seeing the egg hat today. I guess that's not how it works, but we can't fit anything. Like, the opportunity cost on selling one of these units is so high right now. We just can't fit it. If anything, we're really looking for... I mean, I think you freeze this because either a Poodle or a T-Rex is a huge hit. And we hit the T-Rex. We have HP to play with, so we're going to give the chocolate to the T-Rex next turn. Well, we might as well take advantage of our current scaling. And we really need Melon. Melon on the dog turns this into a potential 10 run. Thank God we at least live there. Oh, we crushed this. We crushed this. We crushed this. We crushed this. We're in there. Him, me. 8 wins. Going up against increasingly horrible squads. Just believe in the plan, man. We don't need that next level dog. It doesn't do anything. We got to freeze you. We're looking for chocolate or poodle. We don't see it. That's okay. Or melon. Melon would also... Because we could use melon on our puppy as well, quite frankly. Who would have thought this damage, like, would be relevant? Like, not quite being at 50 was enough to really screw us up here. On the bright side, we win these. That takes us to 9 wins, and there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Melon Poodle. Ooh! Roll me! You might be saying we're getting close to the point at which... I see this in chat all the time. We're getting close to the point at which a T-Rex is no longer relevant. Oh, well, you don't think a 25-20 is relevant? You'd rather replace it with, like, nothing? I don't think so. We win these. That's 10 wins. Would you look at that? Never doubt the power of scaling, even late. Thanks for watching. I gotta get out of here so I can start my stream. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. See ya. See ya.